My friends, wisdom is not found only in books, but in how we treat one another. Every small act of kindness carries the light of the divine. What happens after we die? Is there a soul that lives on? Or does everything simply end? In our last episode, we explored mysticism, the idea that humans can feel and experience God beyond logic. But that raises a deeper question. If the soul can connect to God in this life, what happens to it after death? In this episode of Jewish Wisdom Library, we explore eschatology in Judaism, the beliefs about the soul, the afterlife, resurrection, and ultimate destiny. In Judaism, one belief remained deeply rooted. The soul does not die. It continues beyond the body. This idea appears across Jewish tradition, though its interpretation varies. Some believed in a purely spiritual afterlife, while others imagined a bodily resurrection. Interestingly, one of Judaism's greatest thinkers, Moses Maimonides, held both views, but emphasized something profound. The afterlife is not physical, it is spiritual. Ancient Jewish teachings describe the afterlife in a surprising way, not as a place of physical pleasures, but as a state of pure existence. A famous teaching says, "In the world to come, there is no eating, no drinking, no jealousy, no conflict, only peace, only closeness to God." Maimonides explained this beautifully. The soul experiences joy by understanding and connecting with the divine. So heaven is not a location, it is a state of being. But not everyone agreed. Many Jewish traditions strongly believed in resurrection, that the body itself would rise again. Some teachings even describe people being resurrected in their garments or with physical imperfections that are later healed. Why this belief? Because humans naturally long for personal existence, not just as a soul, but as a complete self. This idea became deeply connected with hope, especially in times of suffering. For many, the resurrection was tied to a sacred place, Jerusalem. It was believed that the dead would rise there, leading many to wish to be buried near the holy city. Even symbolic ideas developed, like the great feast of the righteous, associated with the mythical Leviathan. Though often understood spiritually, these ideas reflected something deeply human, a hope that death is not the end. Judaism does speak of judgment after death. A powerful idea repeated through tradition is this: we are accountable for our lives. Heaven and Gehenna, often compared to hell, appear in Jewish thought. But here's something unique. Judaism rarely emphasizes eternal punishment. Instead, many believed in a temporary purification, similar to the idea of purgatory, because the Jewish heart could not accept endless suffering. Mercy, in the end, always plays a role. One of the most beautiful ideas in Jewish tradition is this: the living can help the dead through prayer, through remembrance. A famous prayer known as the Kaddish is recited by children for their parents. But here's the surprising part. It doesn't mention death. It praises God. Why? Because even in grief, faith remains. And somehow these prayers were believed to bring peace to the departed soul. Judaism sees life as a continuous chain, the past, the present, and the future all connected. The actions of one generation affect another. This idea gives meaning not just to death, but to life itself. We are not isolated individuals. We are part of something eternal. Here's something surprising. Despite all these ideas, eschatology is not the main focus of Judaism. There is no single fixed doctrine of the afterlife. Why? Because Judaism is more concerned with how you live rather than what happens after. The real focus is this life, your actions, your choices, your character. So what does Judaism teach about the afterlife? That the soul continues, that there is justice, that there is hope, but more importantly, that life here and now matters most, because it is in this world that we shape our destiny. But this raises one final question. If Judaism focuses so strongly on life, action, and continuity, how has it survived for thousands of years, through exile, persecution, and change? In Part 8, we explore the survival of Judaism, the story of resilience, identity, and the enduring power of tradition. Subscribe to Jewish Wisdom Library and continue this journey into one of the most profound traditions in human history.